Good freaking afternoon. I'm Larry the Lion. This is my podcast. I'm at the DEALMAKER event in Newark, New Jersey, 2023. What an amazing experience. We're here at the Marriott still. Um, what an amazing event, amazing weekend, incredible weekend. Um, Let me do my sharing here. I haven't been on here for a while. I missed Thursday and Friday because of the electrical storm in St. Petersburg. So let me go in here and share this to the usual spots. Live. Put up YouTube. There we are. I'm gonna start sharing here where I usually share to. I'm gonna start with WhatsApp. Put this here. Put it in the status. Or all right. Got one more share to WhatsApp. I'm gonna do Telegram and then I'm gonna do Facebook. So what an amazing morning! So I'm sitting outside, and I know I shouldn't be smoking, but I was. And I'm sitting there thinking about the whole weekend, taking everything in by myself. And, there were so many great things that happened this weekend. So many, last night, Boca de Chao. If you've never been there, the place is freaking amazing. Hold on, let me just finish sharing this and I'll get to talking. I'm always gonna do this sharing stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Share some multifamily elephant challenge with Julie Burkhart, Mikey Sub 2 group, and let's see. Let's share one more. Gina Franz. I have a bunch of real estate agents. I share this too, actually. So, where is it? It might be a little choppy, the internet here at the Marriott. It's good though. Who is that? Was that Stacy? Is that Sherry? Sherry's a little mad at me this morning. Sherry Webbs Fitzgerald kind of got mad at me this morning because I didn't tell Pace to invite her to community camp. Sorry. Oh, so let me getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna tell this story here in just a second. I got
Hey guys.
Carl Allen, Dealmaker.
Hey guys. Sub 2.
It's at Larry the Lion. It's my podcast.
There you go, man.
This is his event.
Get me on your podcast. I'll come on your podcast anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. See who walks up and just surprised me? Oh my God, he's such an amazing man. So grateful to be have him as a friend. Wow, my mind is just blown. This whole weekend has been mind blowing. I mean, this event that he's created with him, Chris Moore, and Abraham Gray, and his team. He's got a phenomenal team here too. The next one's in Scottsdale. It's going to be so freaking amazing. That was Carl Allen just popped up on me. I feel so very fortunate. I forgot I wasn't going to tell you about. Let me finish sharing this really quick. I'm going to copy a link for my new friend Jenny, who I met yesterday. She's really cool. Hold on, let me close that. All right, and let me do this over here. So, we were supposed to go climb a skyscraper this morning, and Pace was supposed to go Abraham and a bunch of the VIP students, but instead they did they had a protege for only actual protege members round table in the room behind me. The people that didn't join protege or the sub 2 students that were here or just business owners were here. Hey Keisha, um, we were gonna go climb a skyscraper. It's called Don't Look Down. It's like you go all the way up to the top, and it's a big zigzag track up there. I seen it last night when we were going to Fogo de Chao for dinner, which was amazing. Thank you for dinner, Carl. That was the best dinner I've ever had. Just being at this event. Um, it you don't get to experience. I had so many things keeps dropping. Tell me that why would you pay money to go to these masterminds? For one thing, you don't get hugs in a Zoom call. I mean, it's the human connection. It's the interaction. It's the learning together, growing together, finding new business partners, creating relationships. That what's so important about these events. It's not just learning how to purchase businesses with pre-night financing, which is very important, or with sub two masterminds. It's about connecting with people and building relationships for the future, because you don't know who's going to be able to help you in your deal. But now you found people will. Share one more. Share two. Somebody's calling me from Las Vegas. It's a spammer. They call me every single day. Let me finish sharing this here to Telegram. And I've been getting a lot of weird Snapchats lately. I'm not gonna start sharing this on Snapchat. I might just put it as a status, because there's a couple people that I've added their Blink card to my phone, and they popped up on Snapchat, and they have a legitimate business owner. Oh, hold on, I didn't want to do that. And so this morning, I'm sitting outside smoking a cigarette, right? After this event, I'm thinking about, my flight. 'Cause I might not have been able to make it back. Even Pace said I probably wouldn't have made it back if we did go do that. There's an automatic Snapchat lecture. Let me see if I can share this to. I've never used something. Stories. This here, add to my story. I'm not even gonna mess with Snapchat. I'm gonna just do Facebook. So, anyways, that was a stupid idea. So I'm sitting there right in front of the Marriott here where the shuttle picks up, and I'm all by myself, nobody out there, and Pace walks up, just like appeared. I mean, because I looked my head around, and all of a sudden he was there. It's like, Pace, what are you doing here? He was by himself, completely by himself. And I'm like, where's everybody else? What are you doing here? Just sitting, walking up to me, sitting down next to me, Pace. I didn't say that, but this is what my brain was thinking, right? I'm like, why is Pace Morby just walking up here? And I should have been asking, what should I say right now? Which I got frozen. That was the craziest thing. So he said that, he was gonna go check in at the airport, get his bags, and he doesn't have his video crew with him. He said this is the first time he's traveled without them in a long time. All right, here we go. Let me share this really quick. Community camp. Got that group. Oops. I need a better way to do this sharing stuff. Business for sale by owner. Purpose ways. Well, I'm gonna do that one. Come on. Why does it keep on doing this? But anyway, so Pace says he's going to the airport, and I was like, and he's gonna come back, and we're gonna go climb the building. So I asked him. I said, Pace, can I go with you? And he's like, sure, come on, let's go. And that was like the best decision I've made. 'Cause I've learned so much from that conversation with Pace. Even though it was really short, I mean, we had, like 20 minutes together, uh, but I froze most of the time. I was pretty, I was not awestruck. I just didn't know what to say. It was really surreal having Pace Morby, the man that saved my life, sitting next to me in an Uber just by ourselves. And I didn't want to really just talk about other stuff, but I wanted to be specific and intentional. But I ended up learning more about him and what he's doing instead of talking about myself, which I always tend to do. Um, we also crossed that bridge, but he was thinking about going home early and going to be with Laura and Corbin and Monday, because he said Corbin and Monday had been calling him all morning, saying, "Dad, come on, come on," and he's like, "What am I doing here?" He goes, "I should be at home with my wife. She's going to see a doctor appointment today, and shoot, I just messed that up. She's going to go to the doctor and see whether they're having a boy or girl." And I'm like, "You absolutely should be there." I told him, I said, "Follow your heart, Pace." you know, um, and Pace said he's gonna go home. He said he's going home. He's gonna get an earlier flight. So it just started raining anyways. We probably wouldn't go to go climb the building. Um, so he actually just got on an early flight and went home. Um, but during that time, before we got up to the counter, I found out Pace has like admiral status with American Airlines, which is pretty cool. Like they like actually go what when he walks up. Uh, he's got so many points flying with him. Apparently, that's all he likes flying with is American Airlines, and that's coincidentally that's who I was flying with. But now I'm gonna start flying with American Airlines because they do have a really cool concierge and Admiral Lounge that he gets to be part of. Um, and it didn't even come up about community camp or anything else. I was just so frozen, not frozen like I couldn't not speak, but I didn't get to ask questions that I might have wanted to ask. Um, when you have a chance to sit with Pace Morby in an RV, in the back of a you know uh, Uber going to the airport, and it's not a very long ride, but it's like long enough to sit there and chat with him. Um, but Carl Allen just came on camera here. There's so many amazing people that I got to spend time with this weekend. Finally, oh, there's my American Airlines. Has been changed to 5:53 p.m. See, it's raining here. That's why we didn't go climb the skyscraper. That's my American Airlines 1216. In case you want to track Larry's line, just kidding. So, anyways, so we're talking about pace. Me and I was talking about the podcast and how I got to have this name, Larry the Lion, for YouTube. He was blown away because I told him, I said, I tried using Larry the Lion on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, everywhere. I tried using it for usernames. Um, hey mate, how's it going? You got to give Facebook permission. I mean, oh, did you see the staff here? So this is for DealMaker Wealth Society, Carl Allen's sub two, of course, and then you got business owners, and then staff. But anyways, we're gonna get to that too. So Pace is telling me, he's like, "Where did you come up with the name?" And I said, "Well, I am Larry the Lion." I said the interesting thing was I couldn't get Larry the Lion for anywhere else, even a username. But the one place in the whole world it should be is YouTube. And he was like, "Dude, that's your brand." He goes, "People are going to be trying to buy that off of you in a couple of years, in a year or two. They're going to want big money for that." And I said, "Right? It's the only Larry the Lion." He goes, "That's such an awesome brand." Um, And so I wanted to tell him my life story again because we already know each other. He already knows that I quit doing drugs and all that, but I didn't really never get a chance to personally tell him in a setting, little more details about where I came from, how I ended up, you know, coming to find him, and part of the journey. Um, and I started to tell him. I said, I'm going to give you the very shortest, quickest version. I've been whittling it down, explaining my story for people that don't know it, because I didn't want to, burden people with a long story about how I became Larry the Lion here as the Dealmaker as I connected with people. And Pace says, stop. And I was like, wait. He goes, I don't want to hear it right now. And I was like, why? And he goes, I want you to save it for when we do it on YouTube. So Pace wants to get me on the YouTube, and he said, if you tell it to me now, I can't be genuinely surprised or amazed by anything that I hear. And he goes, it'll ruin it. And he goes, it'll ruin it for me too, because I want to do it on YouTube. I want to talk about you, and I want to hear it for the first time as we do it on YouTube. That really freaking blew me away. Um, but besides that, I could have asked him a lot of other questions, but I did tell him, and I did one thing to him. When we're sitting in the American Airlines check-in line, me and Pace are standing there, and I was telling him about early on in my journey when I had an interview for Zero to Dangerous to get into that mentoring coaching program, um, super high level stuff too. There with Stephen Kotler and the flow state, and I said it all came down to one question because we were talking about speaking, and I was, I almost said it to him, but I didn't last night. But I was gonna tell him he should run for president, but I said it like this. The question was, because we were talking about my podcast and how it got started, and I said it started on its own. It was brought by the universe, and me and Pace actually talked about angel numbers because there was 017 on the flight where we were checking in at. And I told him, I said, when the guy asked me the question, he goes, it's something Elon Musk asks everybody that he works with. And you have 7 seconds to answer it. There's no right question. There's no wrong question. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. So I turned it around. I was acting like I was going to tell him. And I did it to Pace. I go, so here it goes, Pace. I go, 10 years. Where are you? What are you doing? And he said, I'm a billionaire. and I was like, awesome. And then I asked him, how are you going to get there? I dug a little bit deeper on Pace on that. And he said, by continuing to do what he's doing right now, by using the process and systems that he's put in place. And then I said, where? And I said, well, getting back to the question that I was asked, I said to him, hey, you guys, you're on the podcast. Say hi. It was a good picture behind me. I was like, I loved it. This is my YouTube. Yeah, Larry in the Line. My YouTube, my podcast. It's on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Yeah. These are all deal makers right here. Come on, introduce yourself. What's your name again? Luis. Jusvania.
Hi,
Miriam.
this is Miriam.
Miriam and
I'm Daniel.
Daniel. These are all protege deal makers right here. You guys all joined protege, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So it's about buying businesses with creative finance. You saw Carl come out earlier, so these are the students there. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Bye.
You're welcome. Come back anytime. Talk about your business. So, but anyways, back to Pace. I said when I answered, it was instantaneous. I said I'd be speaking to 100,000 people at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And he was like, "Wow." He goes, "Dude, that's a lot. You're gonna fill a whole stadium." I go, "Yeah, in 10 years, I can do that. If you're gonna be a billionaire after 10 years, I can do that as well." Hey, Jenny. And hey, guys. Jenny's fashion blog. So he goes, the biggest crowd that he said he spoke to was only like 5 or 8,000 people. And he goes, but online, virtually, he's spoken to a lot more. He's been on some big stages. And he was telling me about Tony Robbins wants Pace to come speak. And Dean Graziano, they're gonna have him speaking on Tony Robbins events. So Pace is going with some high level stuff. But that's why I'm here in this room, because if I wouldn't have went here, if I let fear overtake me, and I didn't show up because I was afraid to spend some money that I didn't have, but it's gonna come back 25 times what I have right now. Because of being here at this event, because of meeting people like that, creating relationships. You have to be in these rooms to level up. And so grateful right now. About 15 minutes ago, I was talking to Abraham Gray about how I was in the car with Pace and thanking him. And I asked him, I said, can I come to Scottsdale for the next one? He's like, dude, you're already there. He said, you're a permanent staff. He said, you're Donna Gray, his wife, right hand man. So I'm a permanent staff member for the Dealmaker. And the next one is in Scottsdale, and there's going to be a day when we all go to Pace's house and hang out, go swim, and jump off his roof into his pool. Pace had some really amazing stuff he said during his time speaking here at the Dealmaker this weekend. Really some incredible windows on insight. The whole event's been amazing. Chris Moore Moore Speaks on Instagram. Then you have Carl Allen Official on Instagram, and of course Abraham Gray Official, and of course Pace Morby. Then you have Larry the Lion Parsons on Instagram. Just go follow them all. But it's interesting that where I was 16 months ago, I was on the streets of Las Vegas. I'm giving shorter versions that I tell the story. It literally was. And I go from that to being friends with billionaires, getting back invited to masterminds that people have to pay for. We're talking about going to Spain too. Carl said we're gonna go do a Dealmaker in Spain, and I get to go to that too. How insane is that? And I get to benefit from learning about buying businesses with creative financing, which I'm definitely going to do. I have the 10-day starter, of course, of Carl's. I could eventually join Projet when I can afford it. But it's just the room, the amount of people I found to help me in my DTA with Tigger and my friend Alyssa. It comes about being go-givers, and that's what Pace was talking about, and Carl and Chris and Abraham as they were speaking on the stages this weekend about being a go-giver, and what you give, it comes back to you. Yesterday morning when I got out of the Uber with a go-giver, my friend Victor Lanza, who I got to stay with him in his Airbnb for the first few nights. So many people have helped me on this journey. Last night I stayed with Ani, A-N-I. He's really big. He's a really cool dude. And me and him were talking about the Facebook ad to save my life, which me and Pace also talked about again. He goes, like, which one? The Mormon one? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. Tampa, you told me. My mind just blown. That we went to dinner for Fogo de Chão, and Chris Moore sat down. I feel like I'm bothering these guys sometimes. And he goes, dude, you're my friend now. And he goes, I want you to come on my podcast. So I'm going to be on Chris Moore Speaks podcast as well. And then there's like Tony Galaro and Mo Means. They bought a $30 million cabinetry home services business through creative financing. $30 million with no money down. How insane is that? I'm losing track of what I want to talk about. Oh, so back to being a go-giver. So yesterday when I got out of the Uber with Victor, I was making a video. One of my videos, I got a whole bunch of posts behind. But I'm like this, and I hear some girl screaming, stop, help me. And I turn around, and I see this guy running away from a car. And I'm like, wait, hold on, let me stop. I almost didn't know what to do. Well, I walked over there because she didn't look like she was, like dying or anything, but she was crying. She goes over there, she said, this guy, I said, are you okay? Okay, do you need some help? And she said that he was driving around, wouldn't let her get out, not take her to the airport. He ran off. And so, but she was like, I don't need any help. I'm calling the police. I got 'em right now. I'm like, okay, okay. I got to get into the deal maker anyway. She wasn't physically harmed. She didn't look like she was bleeding or anything. So I decided to come in. But me being the conscientious guy that I am and caring heart, uh, I decided to come back out and check on her again. And she was still highly upset. She said the police were now on the way. And I said, can I get you any? You want some water or something? And she's like, no, no, no. And then I had some paper towels in my they were clean. And she was had to blow her nose. She was crying. I said, "You sure I can't do anything for her?" She's like, "No, no, no, no." And I was like, "All right, cool. All right, I'm going back in." I was like, "I should have never came back out." That's my mind. I was like, "But no, I should have came back out." But even later on, been about another 30 minutes, and we're eating breakfast here before the day started at the DEALMAKER in the Marriott. And what I did, I grabbed the bag and grabbed some donuts and some pastries and some croissants because everything else was hot. You needed a plate to take it out, like the eggs and stuff, the fruit, it would all been, all the water. But I took it out to her, and she was really grateful. Wow, it's really raining. I think my flight's gonna be really delayed today. But she was really grateful, and I just left her and I said, hey, if you need anything, um, anything, here's my Blink card. See if I can help you with anything. I wish you good luck. This is really all I can do right now for you. And I left it at that. She said thank you. And I got a text from her a few hours later. Really an amazing woman. She had lost her business to a accounting error, $13,000. The accountant ripped her off, or it cost her 13,000. She has a couple businesses, but she's into marketing, and she's doing marketing businesses. And I'm getting kind of wheel around the story to this morning. So, and I talked to her briefly last night, text messages, told her about sub two, and I told her about, buying business and creative financing. And she was trying to find a flight back to Miami. And I said, I'm going to St. Petersburg. I said, I wish I could help you with that. But she said, well, her friend's going to help her with some miles. Like, cool. So you're okay there. I said, well, just maybe stay in touch. And, if I see an opportunity where I can help you with something or you need something, just give me a call. So, she messaged me again this morning, and we're sitting here, and she tells me more about her marketing and what she's doing with payment processing and how she's trying to start another business. And I was telling her about how I was with Pace and Carl and everybody. She's like, I wish I would have had a mentor to teach me things that I had to learn on my own, on mistakes that I had to own. And it would have been much better. And I go, yeah, that's what these masterminds and these mentorships are for, is to you learn from the mistakes that they already done so you don't do them. And that's the whole point. Like Pace even said this morning, let me see how he said it. Oh shoot, it's gonna. I'll remember it in a minute. I don't want to mess it up. It was gold. But uh, anyway, so Chris tells me this morning, and I'm talking to Chris Moore. I'm like, so if I was gonna do the buying business creatively, because I gotta stay focused right now on direct to agent. Like I have to stay focused on it. I'm not gonna get shiny object syndrome. I mean, this is something in the future. But he said online business, online services. That was his. Um, Other people say home services, but online servicing. And I said, well, which one online? He goes, online marketing. What? I just met this girl yesterday and helped her out, Jenny, and she does online marketing. What? You see how funny fate brings people into your lives in each step. How was I know I'm gonna get to ride with PACE Morby this morning? And there was a person that I'm gonna leave her nameless. She wanted me to ask Pace the past couple of days while I was here if she could be selected to go to Super Community Camp because she helped me out with giving me some money so I could do my laundry the other night when I couldn't get transfer money from my relay account to do that. get an Uber back to the laundry. So I'm great for that. But I had Pace Morby, the man that saved my life, sitting next to me, and I forgot. So I would have asked, but I forgot. My brain was frozen and paralyzed. It was like, oh my God, what do I say? He's sitting right here, which eventually got through. But and my whole mind's been on this event and learning and connecting and networking with people. I'm sorry to the person. I was gonna didn't want to put her on blast, but she got mad that I didn't ask Pace that this morning, didn't tell her. And you got to remember, the people that were picked for the community that Pace is picking right now are only sub two masterminds. He's already picked the ones. He's already done it. Last night they did it. Abraham picked his 20 last night for Dealmaker that are going to get to go to community camp, and then they picked a few others. Molly Tennant picked her TCs, so they're already picked, and she's getting mad at me. I asking Pace if she can go when they were already picked. Pace said everybody's already picked. It's already done. Here's the list of the people that are going from here. Go on, bud.
Hey, how are you?
On my podcast here.
Nice.
First name?
Frank,
This is Frank. He's from Pittsburgh. What kind of business is you buying?
I'm buying assisted living
Assisted living
I'm
spaces.
looking for construction.
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 So you see the different opportunities in buying business. Thanks, Frank. That's Frank the Tank. I rode with him to Fogo de Chao last night for dinner. Oh my God, Fogo de Chao was ridiculous. They just kept on. They have this huge. I'd never been there, but they had all this like salad bar, cheeses, meats, and stuff, and olives. A whole amazing bunch of stuff there. And right behind it, they're cooking all the meats, and then they bring the meats out to your table. I had a little bit of some wine. Like it was really good, just enough to cleanse the palate. I don't like drinking. I never have. I mean, I do like some wine with some food, but I've never been a real fan of beer. It was always just to get drunk. It might taste a little refreshing once in a while, but if I'm gonna have a cocktail or something, it'd be either a dirty martini. Love a dirty martini with the blue cheese stuffed olives, or if we're eating a bunch of different meats like Fogo de Chao, I like a little Cabernet or Merlot to cleanse the palate in between bites. Um, and oh my God, the cheesecake and the chocolate dolce and key lime pie were sick. They were ridiculous. Fogo de Chao, and we had flank steak, had sirloins wrapped in bacon. Oh, Carl was loving that sirloin. I got to sit with Carl Allen at the table, on his table with Tracy Thompson and his assistant Kendra that I met. When we were at Dave and Buster's the night before, I was sitting with people telling my story, and they're like, "You need to write a book," because I'm like, "I don't know about writing a book." And they're like, "Yeah, you really need to write a book." So many people here at this event have told me that I got to keep doing what I'm doing, and, because it actually is impacting people's lives. And even Carl told me it. He said he came up to me and gave me a big hug. First day, he said, "Dude, I'm so proud of you." To go from, he goes, "I love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you." I didn't know Carl was watching me. I didn't know half the people that are watching me. Apparently, there's quite a few people that are watching this. And to go from the streets of Las Vegas to get high level, successful, amazing people tell me that I'm inspiring me, that they're proud of me, to getting a private Uber ride with the man that saved my life, Pace Morby. I thought the best weekend I ever had was the first deal maker. They just keep fucking getting better. Sorry for cussing. As I'm gonna cuss once in a while. But what an amazing God blessed week. I'm just so grateful for every bit of this in this learning experience. Not only did I accomplish a lot of things thanks to Jesse Stanton and his coaching program, the Growth Company, um, I was very intentional about the relationships I was creating and curating while I was here for future opportunities. Like just every single person that I connected with this time. I still did the Instagram thing where I take a picture of us, tag them on Instagram, just so it's in there for them. And they get a picture of us to remember us by. But I was really super intentional. I found private money lenders, hard money lenders, people that wanted JB deals with me. I have my friend Angela Wayne looking for property for her. For she wants 100 plus single family portfolio in certain states. Um, I have wraps that I now can sell in Florida to the real estate agents that I'm talking with in Florida. I connected with one. She made a Calendly appointment tonight. I think I'm going to be able to, might be able to keep it because I'm thinking I'm going to be either in Charlotte at the airport there because of the weather, or I'll be actually in Tampa, or I might be stuck here in New Jersey at that time. Yeah, Jesse Stanton is the man, and uh, oh, pizza's coming. I'm gonna have to go in there and get some lunch, but yeah, deal maker. So grateful, but yeah, so being really intentional in creating relationships with people, the opportunities that I've discovered to help my direct to agent team that I'm building. Um, I am a super visionary, and there was so much talk about up on stage earlier about, and I met Cody Barton last night, and I didn't get a picture with him. Shit, Cody Barton was at dinner with us last night. You know, Pace's partner, his integrator. There was integrators and visionaries. That's pretty much was what was in this room for the last few days. Um, hey, Stacy, how you doing? Deal breaker, deal maker. I'm not a deal breaker. Um, I'm a deal maker. Oh, here I got some swag too. Where'd it go? These hats are really hard to get. I promise you. Promise you, this is a hard hat to get. But I got one, and I had a nice VIP. Where'd it go? Because I am a VIP now here. I'm a forever VIP at Dealmaker. Abraham Gray told me that I am forever coming to every single Dealmaker, all access, full access. That's freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Oh, pizza's there? I guess the pizza's there. Oops, Dealmaker. Um, I'm gonna go get some lunch here in a minute. It's 1:15 p.m. Let me close out a couple other thoughts here. Um, I'm making it a goal to, dude. You need to make it the goal to Scottsdale in November. November 23rd, 24th, 25th. I think it is tentative. Dates are about to change, but one day for all VIP attendees, um, we get to go to Pace's house and jump off his roof into his pool. Pretty freaking cool. Um, so that's gonna be a great event. So there was a lot of sub two here because you had cameras reversed. You had sub two here. We had Dealmaker Wealth Society, Protege business owners. I connected with a lot of their sub two students. Um, one thing you don't get when you do Zoom meetings, yeah, you can meet people on Zooms and do grow close bonds, but you don't get to get hugs from people here. People giving hugs here. We're all getting to know each other, building relationships. We're part of the same, mastermind. There is people that we go to these next masterminds. The next one's in Scottsdale. Possibly the next one after that's going to be in Spain. It just keeps on getting better at the Dealmaker Wealth Society. It's There's so much opportunity right now with this, and with single family homes and multi-families, commercial. You can purchase any kind of business that you want. Abraham was talking last night about how he got started with the Beanie Babies, and then he got his axe throwing businesses and all the other stuff he's done. How he started selling gold. Um, you know, the information, It's just stuff you can't get out of a Zoom or watching Sunday service or Get Creative or Wholesale Hotline. Um, you just can't get that unless you're here in the masterminds of connecting with people. Because you can, and I highly encourage anybody in the future watching this podcast or right now, as you're in these in the future, because I am growing this. Um, network with the people in the chat, just like Pace says. I want you guys to network. Oops, there goes my camera. Another crazy thing that's growing, and I wanted to tell Pace that it makes the Gator Lending Las Vegas page. It just grew organically on its own, completely on its own. Um, there's people doing deals in there, and it's because of all of this. Like I am literally changing people's lives. Like my friend Mark in there. He got 500,000 to buy container homes for the homeless in Hawaii. And so much of what we learned in here was all about mindset and giving back and the different ways. We learned the technical stuff. I have all the books here. I got the day one, day two, three. Um, but it's about being go givers and tell Abraham I'm going to check out the golf spot in Georgia. I will. Let me know. I sat down with Abraham today and got to talk about his buy box things he wants me to look for him. Um, Again, I apologize to my friend who I didn't get to tell. Say, hey, Pace, pick my friend because she helped me out a little bit. There's a lot of people that help me out. Should I have said, Pace? Let me give you a list of every single person that has helped me out. Like, so let me start with Abraham. He was the one that helped me the most. He gave me $1,000 for rent 1 month. And then there's so many people more gave more than that, or less than that, but more than what she said. She guilt trip me. I love her, but I would have if I could have remembered. I would have, but I didn't. I was starstruck. Not starstruck. I was just paralyzed because I got Pace Morby all to myself for a second, and there's a lot of people who would want to just sit there and have a conversation with him. But I couldn't plan it out. I didn't even see it happening. He just appeared like Jesus, like boom, like hey, what are you doing here? There was nobody else with him, which is really highly unusual to just have Pace by yourself and then say, hey, can I go to the airport, take a ride with Uber? He's like, yeah, come on. That doesn't happen. It was all meant to be. It's all fate, all destiny. The thing I learned though is don't miss something. If there's something that's really important to you, like this was really important to me, do what it takes to go there. He said, I'm going home to see my wife. He's like, should I go to the skyscraper or not? We didn't know yet. He said he was planning that, but and as more as me and him talked about everything, he said I'm going to go home with Laura because I don't want to miss being there, finding out the sex of my child. He said I miss so much with my family. Pace does pay a price. He is Pace Morby, but he does pay a price, and I got to hear that and see that from him today. Um, he gives us a lot, so you all should be super grateful for anything you get. Same thing with Abraham, same thing with Carl Allen, same thing with Chris Moore, anybody else in the community that gives you. You got to remember all the stuff they do is time they don't get to spend with their family too. Even though Donna and the kids were here, and it was son Ty's birthday yesterday. No, is it in there? Yes. All right, thank you. That's my friend there. He owns trucking companies here. I'm on my podcast talking about you. Oh, okay. I got to ride with him to the bury the hatchet the first night. So I made some really great relationship. Yeah, Pace is gonna be on here, but I'm gonna be on his first, telling my story. All right, so I'm gonna pack up here. I'm gonna go before I don't get my lunch, and they're gonna finish up the last half hour here of the event. Um, it's gonna want to go hear what Chris and Carl are gonna say, and Abraham. Unfortunately, Pace already went home. Everybody's like, "What? Where's Pace at? What?" I was the one to come back and tell him, "Yeah, Pace left." he was supposed to come back, but I think I talked him into going to the, being with Laura and Corbin and Monday, so he can hear about the baby and whether he's gonna have a son or a daughter. So wait for that announcement from Pace. He's gonna know today whether he's gonna have another son or daughter. So that's gonna be really cool, and I got to be a part of that today. I got to be part of all this stuff, and it only happened because of what? From taking action and being consistent. It's the only reason I'm sitting here talking to you from this event, getting to go to everything else that I'm getting in the future, is from taking action and being consistent. So, if you don't learn anything else from me, learn that you need to take action. You need to be vulnerable. You need to put yourself out there and look at good things that come from it. Be authentic. Be genuine. Trust the process, but mostly trust God. That's the one you got to trust the most. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Carl Allen, Chris Moore, Abraham Gray, and thank you, Pace Morby. Man changed my life. I'm so grateful. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna post a shitload of pictures on Instagram and Facebook and maybe some videos too. But I will see you tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.